Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas Market Recap for Tuesday, December the 2nd. My name is Barry Anderson. I'm the moderator of the room. This is the address to get into the room, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. Now, I apologize for not having a video yesterday. My broker actually had some technical issues, so I couldn't trade for the first half of the day. And I just couldn't get into the trading mentality, I guess, for the last half. There were probably a couple of things I could have done. But to be honest, most of my trading is probably done in the first half of the day anyway, and I just wasn't going to try to take a trade for the sake of taking a trade. So consequently, there were no trades to talk about. However, I've made up for that today. I've got 6 trades to talk about, and so let's get right to them. Excuse me. Now, the first one is VGGL. And, if you've been following the videos at all, you know that we have been watching VGGL for quite a while now. And if we I had said a long time ago, not a long time ago, probably last week or even the week before, that if it could get over 4, that I would be very interested in taking the trade because it was having a tough time to get over 4. And if we take a look at the daily chart, that might yeah, you can see up here there was a spike right there to 450, and then it came down, down, and then there was a little spike right there, a little over 4, and then it came down. So I was waiting for this to get over 4 in a robust way. And so it happened today, and my software basically alerted me to this spike right here. This is in the pre-market actually. This is actually at 8:05 a.m. Eastern Time. And you can see this giant spike and followed up by another one. And this is over $4. So I took the trade right at 410. Now, I didn't know what the news was, but I found out a little bit later that I guess they've signed some kind of a deal with the Home and Garden Network and HGTV. So that obviously gave them the impetus, number one, to get over 1 and get some excitement back. So again, all this up to here is in the pre-market. So I held on through this, and then here is when the stock opened, and here's all the volume that came in. And so I watched it, and I took out half at 470. Watched it get up to 489, was really hoping, of course, that it would knock through 5 and continue. Didn't happen, and when it came back down, I decided to get out at 470. But I said in the room that if it could get back and get over 5 again, I would probably take a hard look at it again. So you can see it hasn't done that, and it's given up a lot of the gains, actually. I mean, it's still at 14%, but I'll have to watch this tomorrow to see if this was just sort of a one-day wonder on the news, or if there's some follow-up on that with the excitement for the news. And maybe this is just a stock taking a bit of a breather after having such a great update. The next one was NHI. And NHI, now I think I've shown you this one probably. This is just a very, very simple top list. And all it is, it just shows me stocks that are up or down the most in dollars. And I think I cut it off at, well, I thought I cut it off at 2, but maybe not. Oh no, this is from the open. I think I cut it off at $2. So this is up 342 from the open, sorry, from the close of yesterday, and up 315 from the open. But what I'm really interested in are the bottom ones. So this is sort of like a bounce play, except not really getting a bounce pattern. This is where it starts. So it's not like we've seen the candles come down and then I'm looking to play this. Now, I admit that I missed all this. I saw this, I posted it in the room, and by all rights, I should have taken it right here at 64.10. I don't know quite why I didn't, but I didn't. I might have been distracted by other things, a lot of things going on, of course, at the beginning. But when it finally made it up to $65, I decided to take the trade. Sort of getting through that 65 level, I thought was going to be key, and it still had room. I mean, we're still got 66.50, so it still had $1.50 to the to close to or to close the gap to yesterday's close. So look, it was looking good for a while. It got up to 65. What is it? 65, say 28, right at the top here. But then I was lucky to get out here at 64, 16. Let me just get this a little bit so you can see it. It's a little clearer, I guess. Right there is 64.95, right? 64.95 is where I got out. And you can see this candle took me by surprise. It really rocketed down. I mean, usually I can get out, if I'd seen something like this and it stopped there, I would have been out maybe at 65.10, taking a little profit, but certainly try at least where my break even. But I was lucky enough to get out just for a nickel loss here, and then it continued down. Now, it did keep going. It did have a bounce back. And I even mentioned in the room that you can get into a bad habit, though, by ignoring your stops and saying to yourself, well, the last time I did something like this, it just reversed and went up, and I could be up $1 on this play. And that's true. But, you know, to me, this could have just continued all the way down. I mean, for one reason, it was knocked down at the beginning and it could have just capitulated, and you would have been kicking yourself for not getting out at a very manageable loss. So, I just kind of, this is sort of a cautionary tale, just as to say, just because it happened once, and even if it happens 10 times in a row that it goes up a nice, the one time that it doesn't and it keeps really, really crashing on you and you are stubbornly thinking it's going to reverse, that can really do damage to your account. So, I'm very conservative. I'll usually obey my stops. There's very rarely that I don't obey my stops. So, that's what I did with this one, and sure, it turned around, and probably I could have got in right here, but maybe I was a little gun shy on it at that point. AER. And this is the same sort of thing. AER came on it was down quite a bit. Let me just there we go. You see it was down quite a bit. So and I think I did this on a 3-minute candle. Get these arrows going better. Yeah, there we go. So I took the trade at 42.17 on this candle right here, and it was choppy. This was not an ideal situation, but it looked like to me that it had the momentum to keep going. And actually, I got into this is incorrect. I got into the trade right on this arrow on this candle here. Again, this is a 3-minute candle, and boy, it zoomed up to 42.71. I did not get out then. I got out right here at 42.38. I think it came up, but the spread was pretty ridiculous, and so I was lucky to get out here at 42.38 for half, and then the other half on this candle here at 42.17. Now the same thing. Look what's happened. It has gone right back up, but this is pretty choppy. I mean, if you're trying to day trade this to me is a bit of a nightmare. And this was a bit of a gamble for me, but I just like this. I like the fact that it zoomed right through the whole number, and so I took it on that basis. This one was it was a lucky one. Same sort of thing. Now you can see here. Now in fact, I may have this may have come in on even on the bounce play. Let me just see if I can find SPAC. It may not have. No, so it didn't come on my bounce play. But again, it did come down on the other top list because now it was a stock that was really beaten up and down quite a few dollars. And so I ended up taking now, but the interesting thing, and I said in the room, the interesting thing that I got in here at $116.74. Now, for a $116.74 stock, the spread between the bid and the ask was very tight. I mean, it was 2 or 3 cents, which is great. So that gave me some confidence because, the bottom here was going to be my stop. So 116.42 or in that area, okay? But it's not like the bid was 116.50, the ask was 116.70. So if you take the trade, you're almost close to your stop. I mean, if you look at the bid, you're almost close to your stop. So that is the real reason I took this trade. I thought, okay, a nice tight stop. Probably wasn't going to whip me out of the trade because of the tight stop and the tight bid ask spread. And it really went up well. Within minutes, it got up to 117.34, or a little more than that. But I actually sold. I just about got the top on this one, 117.34 from 116.74. So a nice 60-cent pop there. And then I took the other half out. I was worried that it was going to get down through that whole number, 117, and so I took it out at 117.11, and then it really collapsed. Now I know that I think that the dentist in the room took it right around this area, 114, or he was watching it and I had forgotten it by this time, probably onto something else again. And he may have got in around here, and I know he wrote it up here. So two options to play this one, but I was fortunate in this one. Happened very quickly, and then it dropped pretty quickly, so I was pretty fortunate. And the last one is CFR, and CFR, bit of a nightmare actually. This one, now this came on the bounce play. This came on the on my bounce alerts. It came right here, CFR at I think 12:32 at 72.14. Excuse me. And so it came on here, but the interesting thing about this one, this is one of the, most of my bounce alerts are for stocks that are already down for the day. So these are stocks that are really down. Not only are they moving down, but they're also down for the day. They're below yesterday's close. This was still above yesterday's close, and I don't, I mean, obviously I can put a filter in place that would prevent that, but I decided I would try this just to see what would happen. And I got into the trade the first time at 72.24 right here. And actually got up to 72.35 and I thought, okay, this is good. But then the next candle got down to 72.20, 72.20 and it took me out. Now, it wasn't the next candle that took me out, but geez, I'm sorry, my mouse is, it was right here that it took me out. And one of the things is that this really did not have a good spread. I mean, for a $72 stock, is probably the spread that you might anticipate. But the spread was, going from 6 to 8 cents. And so I was worried that all of a sudden, I get a bid 72, ask 72.20. And so I decided to get out at 72.24, sorry, 72.20. So I only took a 4-cent loss on this one. But I said to the room that if it could get up to this area again, that I would take a look at it. And so it did. It got to 72.30. I got in at 72.30 and it popped around a little bit and I got out the first half at 72.46 and the next half at 72.40. So nothing spectacular, not the greatest of patterns really. I may have to even relook or rethink the whole idea of playing a bounce play when the stock is up for the day. Much rather play a bounce play where the stock is down for the day, it's being trashed, and then all of a sudden it picks up. This is more like a pullback perhaps, but it's a pretty severe one. So that's it. Now, the only other one is interesting. I didn't post this in the room, but this might be a mini swing for me. And this is off, Dan put that swing strategy in the room last week, and I think it's off that one. So I'm actually in it. What was my price at 34.13, and it's supposedly a 5-day hold. So, within reason, I'm going to see what happens. H&R Block, this is also a lifetime high for it, so it's got a few things going for it. So I guess as long as the market doesn't collapse and financials take a big bath, that I will hold this maybe for the 5 days just to see how this one worked. And let's see, one more quick peek at VGGL. Yeah, it's trying to come back. Nice little pop here. A little bit of volume. You can see this candle is more than the previous ones. It's more like this one and this one. So we'll have to see. I'd like to see this close near the 470 and give people a little more confidence maybe at taking it tomorrow if it does go over 5, that it's just not going to collapse like this again. All right, so a bit of a long video. Let me just bring back the cover page. Again, this is how to get into the room. This is the address, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. And I hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow.